Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Ooh, show me your soul, baby. I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How expensive do I have to be? I mean, I spell it out before you get it, baby. Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Good morning. Good morning. I was just saying good morning to y'all on here. Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up. Right. Wake up, get up, stay up, all of that and more. Good morning and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. I had to run upstairs. You know I'm down in Imagine Studios now, right? And it's like, it's going to help me. It's really going to help me being down here because when you leave stuff all over the house, two other floors, and then at the last second you look around like, where's my phone? Hey, where's the V8? I had to run, right? So that's going to help me get my stuff together, Good morning. How was your weekend? First of all, Jed said it best. What in tarnation happened to the weekend? That's what I want to know. Here in Chicagoland, all of us were, well, a lot of us, especially here where I live in Naperville, we're outside all weekend long trying to get all that stuff done, that fall cleanup and whatnot. And so that's what we did. That's what we did. What'd you do? Put it in the comments. What was your favorite thing about this past weekend? They're calling for snow here in Chicagoland for next weekend. So everybody was out trying to get it done just in case the weatherman was right. So, what is that? That's the Bell of Purpose. The Bell of Purpose, let's get it straight. Let's get it clear. Don't get it twisted. It is not just some show gimmick. It's not a prop. It is an actuality. It is a reminder. It is an opportunity. When it rings, just like that bell has a ring to it, well, guess what? So does the truth. So when I ring that bell, it's because I know we're busy people. We can be doing all kinds of things while we're watching the show, listening, multitasking. But what I don't want is for any of us to miss that truth. Back the car up, throw it in the trunk, take it home with you, give it to somebody else. I guarantee you're going to be glad you did. That's the Bella Purpose. And also here every day, you know who it is, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's my version of Ed McMahon, my sidekick. And I finally figured out how to make Dunkin' Donuts coffee without being up for 8 days after drinking a cup of it. For real, that is they're not playing that Dunkin' Donuts. No wonder the line is so long in the morning when I drive past the Dunkin' Donuts on the way to the health club. I was like, what are they serving up in there? Crack? I'm not kidding. That line is out the door. Now I know, right? So anyway, got that down, figured out. Thank you guys for telling me how much coffee to put inside one filter for like 3 or 4 cups. I was overdoing it. Let me see. Big week here. Our third episode of, I can show you better than I can tell you. We got a great guest today. Jesse T. Remember last week we had technical difficulties? No biggie. We were ready for it because we're back today when we're supposed to be. Jesse T's in the house, and we're going to talk to you today about a few things, but here's a couple teasers. Mindset, wealth building, and one we've never talked about on here. I can't wait. Look at the pretty colors. Sacred plant medicine. Okay, for real. I just came from Salt Lake City a few weeks ago where I had one of those journeys. I ain't ashamed. Sure did. It's all about ascension, elevating, and all of that. And we're going to get into that today. I'm really excited about it. I want to show you this really quickly. Let's see. A couple things. Where is it? I'm looking. Wait a minute. How do I want to do this? Okay. P3, this Saturday, if you guys haven't signed up already, the free 90-minute preview of my new work, P3, Purpose, Patience, and Passion, is going to be Saturday, coming up, Saturday the 13th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Head over to LaurenMichaelsHarris.com and click the blue button on the homepage to reserve your seat for this wonderful 90-minute preview. And I was going to show you something about it, but okay, here, look at it. Okay, so get over, get your seat, and come on in and be a part of the conversation this Saturday, the 13th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. 90 minutes, all free, all for you. There we go. So, who is Jesse T? And I look at it like this. When things get in the way, try to stop something, I always go, I don't get pissed anymore. I used to show my ass. I'm not kidding. What the hell? You know, every time I try to do something right, I don't do that anymore. When that happens, I go like, what was so good that everything was working to try to keep us from getting it to you? Right? That makes me work even harder to get it across that finish line. So here's Jesse T, right? He's the founder of 46 and 2 Wealth Partners. Now we're going to have him, and that's 46 the numbers and 2 the number, okay? Wealth Partners, in case you're trying to Google it while I'm talking. What is this? A fee-only registered investment advisory firm. I have no idea what that means because, you know, I'm not a numbers person. I'm a word person, but he's going to tell us. His business ethos, or is it ethos? Public school, sue me. I think it's ethos, right? Is rooted in showing others how to become free and create happy wealth. Happy. Jesse also hosts the Jesse T Show, a mindset-focused podcast that teaches anyone hunting greatness in business, health and wellness, and in relationships. You got it. The secrets to success. Now, at an early age, Jesse realized he had a knack for being an entrepreneur. He would buy, sell, and trade comic books and sports cards, and that's just the stuff he can tell us without going to jail. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's Monday. He grew up in Boston. Oh, wait a minute. I might not have been too far off. I used to live there. He grew up in Boston. I believe it was East Boston, he told me. During the harsh winter months, Jesse would shovel his neighbors their sidewalks and driveways, earning a few dollars, and other times a cup of hot chocolate. There's a lot more to him. I'll tell you this. Jesse is the proud parent of 2 sons. He is a passionate human optimization nerd, enjoys getting into nature, and is a psychonaut. Wow. Okay. And he lives in Atlanta, right? Atlanta. And we got something. We're going to talk about something else for those of you who have ever lost a child or wondered what that felt like. Jesse lost a daughter, and he's going to talk to us about that too. How you get past that. A lot of people can't It takes a long time for a lot of people to get through that. You don't get over it. You don't get under it. You don't find a way around it. You got to believe your way through it, right? So anyway, that's a pretty good start to who we have here today. So it's his first time. Remember last week we had to reschedule. So please go the extra mile today. This illuminated conversation is for all. The promise, it says where two or more of us comes together, something wonderful is bound to happen. And today is no exception. So put your hands together, put your heart into the conversation as we bring to the stage. Here he is, Jesse T. Mondays ain't easy,
brother, but they're
easy.
But they're necessary.
Good morning, Jesse T.
Good morning, man. Can I just say, first of all, thank you for being you. And the range of emotions I went through in the beginning, of your show, from I was dancing in the beginning with the music. I don't know if you could see me backstage dancing.
I could.
And then I started crying because there was this beautiful song when it was showing kind of like your montage of things that you've experienced and done, and it was saying, "Show me your soul."
That's our theme.
I was just wide open, brother, and it brought tears to my eyes. I'm wiping tears from my eyes, and holy crap, what a start for the morning. And I do want to ask one question. Am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
Sure can. Hell yeah. You damn Skippy. Shit.
Good.
There, how's that?
I use the big ones, so we'll see what comes out.
Oh, you F-bomb him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Jason Cisneros was here the other day. I don't think he cussed.
Okay.
He must have had a temperature or something. I got to go back and rewatch that one. No, it's okay. We're all adults here, and we're respectful. As long as we're not dissing women and calling them bees and hoes and all that, we don't do that. But, yeah, when it's to get that point across the finish line, you dog don't skip it. So
right,
I'm so excited you're here. When I first saw you, it was because we have some mutual friends, and I said, wow, if they hang out with him and he hangs out with these guys, Stephen Eugene Kuhn and Lane Balone, love them, love their book. Are you in the book? Have you read the book?
I know about the book. I am not in the book, but I love those men to the ends of the universe and back.
Are you a veteran?
I am. I served in the Navy.
Thank you for your service. Oh,
it was my pleasure. It was fun.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait. It sounded like you said Navy, but I know that was something. I must have been here. What branch did you serve in? Starts with an A?
No, Navy. It was Navy. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were off to such a good start.
I know.
I'm kidding. Air Force, aim high.
Okay.
So, I considered the Navy until I saw their outfits. I was like, those,
When I was in, there was 13 of them.
13 uniforms?
13 different looks. Yeah.
13 different looks?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 different dress ones, a few utility ones, a few other ones, like a few. There was 13 different outfits. It was a fashion show.
Which did you wear the white one that looks like the Cracker Jack box guy?
Of course, yeah, they call the Cracker Jacks. Yeah, there was 4 different kinds of those. Like you had your dress blues, dress whites, you had your summer ones, you had your winter ones. It was a lot.
Wow. So were you in San Diego? I know that's a big spot for the Navy. Where were you most of the time?
Interestingly enough, I got the start up in Great Lakes, which
Illinois.
We joke and call it Great Mistakes. So we went to Great Mistakes for boot camp, and then I was stationed in Norfolk, and I was a boatswain mate. So I went in undesignated because in my idealistic mind, I thought I'd learn about the business, learn about the job, so to speak, learn about everything, and then I decide on what I want to do. Mm-hmm. But what you kind of find out is they place you where they need you. You don't have much say, essentially. So I got put into the deck department, and it's just a lot of hard work, painting, chipping, swabbing decks. But the cool thing was when you go out to sea, you get to, that's awesome, Sherry, you get to drive the boat. So I got to drive an aircraft carrier, and all I ever driven before that was a car.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that's quite a jump.
Big jump. The 1,000-foot jump. It's about 1,000-foot small aircraft carrier called an LH. Was a support service to the Marines. We'd drop them off, pick them up. We had a well deck, which was a huge cutout in the back of the ship where the ship could deballast, and the amphibious assault crew could come into the boat while we were in the water, which was really cool.
Wow. So listen, let's get started here. Why don't you give us a little backstory, if you could, on little boy Jesse, and it was East Boston, I think you.
Good old Eastie, yeah.
Okay, so talk about when you were growing up. Did you come through? And I'm going somewhere with this. It may not seem like it, y'all, but y'all know. Just hold on a minute, wait for it. Did you? I'm interested because you've taken this spiritualism far beyond where I'm at already. I've just cracked the shell on what I mentioned earlier, those journeys that a lot of people are taking, and we're going to get into that. But I'm just curious, did you come through the traditional organized religion door growing up? Did you guys go to a church or something like that?
So Boston in general is very Catholic, and I grew up Roman Catholic. Most of my family is Italian, also part Greek. But
boy, they're both serious about their Catholicism.
I know.
Orthodox and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I went from kindergarten to 8th grade in a school called St. Mary's Star of the Sea, which was a Catholic school. It had about 30 kids in each year, and it was one building. And so we had K through 8, and we were all in the same building all day long, all with one teacher. And in the first 5 or 6 years, we had nuns and priests that were pretty prominent in our day-to-day life. But then the school transition, the administration transition, it became.
I bet they were.
Yeah, very much. Sister Macrina, Sister Marion, Father Kennedy.
Yes, I've heard. Yeah. I didn't go to Catholic school, but I went to a parochial school, and I had a few of those paddles with the holes in them broken on me. Literally. Okay. Broken on me. It's for real. Nowadays they go to jail for that shit.
Well, yeah, they stopped, thankfully, when I was there. That was like maybe a few years before I was there, maybe in like 10 to 15 years. But I heard all the stuff. Like if you didn't have your fingernails trimmed the right way or dirt on your fingernails, you would get a pop on the hand with a ruler. And then it got all the way to like corporal punishment heavy. It was bad. So,
did you leave your Catholicism completely? Backslid, as some people call it. We had a guest, Jody Swanson, was here Friday. She was Mormon, and she was talking about how, and her father, no, she was Jehovah's Witness, and her father was a big Jehovah's Witness mega pastor, and she got, excommunicated. So talk about that. What's it like today when you're around your family and stuff, and do you just turn all this spiritualism and everything off, everything like, for instance, sacred plant medicine? How do you walk that line nowadays with your family members?
I'll give you the full 360, but I'll start with the present and go back to the beginning really quickly. So where I am today is who you see right now is who I am with every single person I meet ever. So if I had a priest, he would hear the F-bombs, he would hear the indiscretions, he would hear the journey. If mom and dad were alive, they would get the same person. My sister, who's big in my life, like every relationship. Go ahead.
You said if they were?
Yeah, I lost both my mom and my dad in the last few years. That's part of the journey. I've held death in my hands a couple of times. Yeah.
And you're a young guy.
I'm turning 40 in December. So
how old were your parents?
My mom, when she passed, was about 65. My dad was 68.
So young.
Young. Yeah. And so that part of it is I'm always me, and I'm always I've learned in my journey over the last couple of years that sharing my story and being completely who I am all the time has freed me. It's freed me from my own self-judgment. It's freed me from my own self-criticism. But then it's done this beautiful life event for me where people, when they plug into me or I plug into them, it brings the walls down. And then it's like we can really see each other for who we are, and we can really get to know each other. And it's brought the most beautiful relationships in my life. But I will say, back in the beginning, I was never Catholic. I went to a Catholic school. I wasn't even bought in as a kid. It just didn't make sense to me. And not that there's not powerful truths in most religions, but just for me, I finally found what I was supposed to be doing a couple of years ago in terms of my walk with my spirituality. And it took me 36, 37 years to get there. It took me, and I had been in a lifelong initiation with all these events that either happened to me or happened for me or happened because of me. And every single one of those things, good, bad, or indifferent, led me to the path I'm on today.
Yes, it did. Let's talk about that path if we could. I'm gonna just say this. I hope you don't mind. But I'm one of those nosy ones. So I was all up in your Facebook photos and stuff. And I was looking, I said, this guy usually taller than most people that are in the photo. Got that Italian look, and your thing is like me. That
so happy.
Right. So, but as I looked at you, I could be wrong. But back when you were like in high school, college age and all that, your early 20s and stuff, did you ever deal with ego?
All the time.
Because I could see how you could be that kind of guy
all the time
looking at you where everybody wanted to be your friend, girls and women chased you, and, talking to you now, I don't feel any of that. There's not that's to say that ring is no longer in the bathtub.
Yeah.
So if you could talk about that transition, how different are you today?
Yeah, brother.
Let's say 20 years ago.
It's powerful, man. It's completely changed my life, the journey and the work that I've done. And I had a big ego, and it came from two places. And I would recommend anyone who's listening to this or watching this to go learn about Eckhart Tolle if you haven't already. And Eckhart Tolle has a Power of Now, and also this book that completely shaped my life and worldview is called A New Earth. And that actually could be the same. It could be Power Now, New Earth. But A New Earth talks about how everybody operates from two places a lot of times when they're in a negative space. I mean, there's this whole concept of the shadow, which is Carl Jung, and we can get into that. But really what most people operate from a lot of times is their ego or their pain body. And their ego generally doesn't make the best decisions because it's braggadocious, or it's trying to be overtly powerful, or I'll show you better kind of thing. And then the pain body is all the trauma that we've all experienced on all the different levels of our life. A lot of times we filter our decisions and our reactions through those two things. And brother, my ego at one point was huge, and my trauma, I've seen most people I've ever talked to in my life, not that this is a prize you want to win, I've had by far and away the most trauma. And I had to really work on those things. I had to work on myself. I had to get real with myself. I had to be like, dude, you're not in a good place, man. And it took a lot of therapy. I was in traditional therapy, talk therapy. I've done 1,000 other different modalities of therapy. And it really showed me that I have a positive mental attitude. I have a love for people. I have a love for life. Thankfully, I've never had to deal with anything super serious like suicidal thoughts. I've been depressed, all those things. But really what it comes down to, man, is I did some inner child work not too long ago, and it showed me that I had a really screwed up childhood. And I always told myself I had a good childhood. I grew up on the beach in Boston. I was playing sports, like you said, chasing girls and having fun. But I went through some serious effed up, powerful negative. And the reason why is because it allowed me to become who I am today, which we could talk about down the road. It's my superpower. So
yeah. So, okay, and now I'm just trying to, let me ask this. You have two sons.
I do.
How old are they now?
Grayson just turned 7 and William just turned 5.
Oh, they're little ones.
Little my dudes, man, my heart.
Okay, so, wait, where in the lineup was your daughter? Was she before?
So she was first. Yeah, she was born in my was wife, because we're really good friends and we're great co-parents. I don't like to say ex-wife. So my was wife, Alicia, and I were running a business in Charlotte, North Carolina for a few years, really successful outside sales company. And we got pregnant. We had been together for a little bit. We got pregnant. Alana was born. She was injured at delivery. This was back in 2009 when she was born. So when she was injured at delivery, her airway was compromised during the labor and delivery. Alicia was healthy. Baby was healthy up until delivery started. Delivery was 40 hours. Alicia is a total badass as a human being, total like health and wellness person. She didn't want to do any kind of like inoculation. I forget what the word is to kind of like it's a shot they give, an epidural.
Epidural.
Epidural. And she toughed it out, and she went labor and delivery for 40 hours. Alana came out injured at delivery, and what Alicia likes to describe it as is she was floppy. So she wasn't dead, but she wasn't full of life either.
Right.
And
something was wrong.
They gave her to Alicia so mom could hold baby, make that bond. And then they immediately brought her to the intensive care unit at the NICU. And for 7 days, brother, we were in this crazy twilight zone, surreal, didn't even feel real place of like, we're going to lose our daughter. And she's 7 days. Like, we had to make a decision when she was 7 to like keep her on machines for the rest of her life with most likely the chance of her coming alive, or let her go and let her pass away. We did.
So, okay. That's why I'm going to tell you why I wanted you to address that. At that point of your life, of your journey, where were you in your belief system? Were you in between? Did you have one foot in organized religion, one foot in starting into spiritualism? Were you all the way into? What did you believe in when this happened? Or did this help you believe in what you believe in?
Nothing. I was lost, brother. Like, I was still not in belief of organized religion, just from my own personal experience. Like, I always believed that there was a God, but I didn't know what that looked like for me. And I wanted to find what that, I was seeking what was already within, but I didn't know that back then. And it was just, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to be shown, my truth. And, so I was lost. I wasn't practicing religion. My wife at the time, Alicia, she grew up in the Bible Belt, Georgia, very Christian, non-denominational, believed in God and Jesus and all this stuff.
Yeah. And
I believed in God, but some of the stories to wrap my head around, which are, parables and illustrations and life, to try to make you think things in the Bible for me, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And I was like, it doesn't feel right for me, but I do feel that there's a higher power, because why would we all be doing this? And why would we all be put here?
Exactly.
And so at that point, that's where I was. I was not spiritual by any means. And spirituality, this word comes up for a lot of people. What I've learned, and it was a really cool little meme, and it said, religion is for people that believe in other people's divine experiences. Spirituality is your own divine experience.
I like that. Absolutely.
And that's what, within the last couple of years, I've been able to experience. So that was with Alana. We're talking 2009, 12 years ago. I was lost. I got depressed. I was abusing myself with food and alcohol. I think I got up to about 270 pounds, which, didn't look awful because I'm about 6'2", but it was still, I was chunky. I had a fat head and everything else. And I didn't love it. And I was just killing myself because I was dealing with depression I didn't know how to sort out. And, that was just another step on the journey to learn how to heal from, which took many years. And the beautiful thing, brother, that came from that was her 7-day life caused so much, or impacted so many lives. Like, we started a nonprofit called Alana's Angels that supports people that have lost children from a miscarriage all the way up to the death of an adult child, with different support and services. Because what people don't tell you, unfortunately, like, most pregnancies can have a risk. 6 out of 10 pregnancies can be life-threatening for the mom or baby. But they don't tell you this going in because they don't want to freak you out. So once you get into the club you don't want to be in, you kind of find out that behind the scenes that there's a lot of, potential issues.
Happens more often than you know.
And so through the years, we were able to, it was very cathartic to do this kind of work. Alicia and I are students and learners, but we also take that information and we can relay it back to people. So we become teachers. And we were able to help people through that. And it was our own healing as well. So we would do balloon releases where we get a group of 40, 50 people, and they would speak their piece about who they lost and what they meant to them, and just symbolism of and uniting people. And then through the years, up until this day, Alicia, my sons, and I will get together, even though we've been divorced almost 2 years, we'll get together on her birthday and we'll celebrate her birthday. And when I go to Charlotte, where my sister, brother-in-law, and nephew live, that's where her grave was, or is, because that's where we were living. Now I'm back in Atlanta. And whenever we're there, we go visit the grave site. We change out the flowers. We change out the little knickknacks that are there, like the loveys that are there. And so we celebrate her life as much as possible, even to this day.
Well, I know, and I'm glad to hear that, because, a lot of people that have lost kids, no matter where it is along the journey, what age, no parent is prepared for burying a child, period. It's just not the order of things, right? But nonetheless, it happens. And a lot of couples lose each other through that door. A lot don't make it back. So I wonder if you could just, however comfortable you feel about this, how do you feel all of these things, not just the thing with the baby, but anything that was not so pleasant? How did you reinvent the blame, if you will, in order to open you up to what you know to be true today?
Yes. It's a great question. I get chills up and down my back right now thinking about it, because it's meant so much. And we are given these experiences. They don't happen to us, they happen for us. And that might sound like some woo-woo, like motivational speaker crap, but it is so true. And I'm of the belief that our souls decided to be here to have experiences. And our souls are basically timeless. And there is a God, and I'm still working that out. But we are divine. We have divinity sparked within us. We are of the creator, right? And so we have to have these experiences. And for me, I grew up very empathetic. I grew up very like it's become a superpower now. But when I was younger, I didn't know how to deal with it because I felt the pain of everyone. I felt the suffering. I felt people's insecurities. I felt people's joy. I felt people's happiness. But I made it my own. So as an early Boston,
did you know you were an empath?
I didn't even know what that word was until a few years ago.
Right.
But I know what the feeling is. And for me, the big entry point into the pain of being an empath was my dad was a 30-year junkie before he cleaned up for about 10 years before he died, which was a whole great story. And then, I got bullied for 5 years, beat up every day, which made me tough as shit. I did martial arts for a few years and I was like, this is fucking great. I'm prepared for this. But when I was a kid, I'm like, why don't these kids like me? Why am I getting my ass beat every day? And so those things, especially growing up in Boston in the Northeast, you have this kind of like tough guy mentality. And I was plunged into a society that I didn't belong in. Like growing up, I felt like I needed, like California came to mind because I love the ocean. I wanted to surf. I wanted to be a surfer and kind of live that like easy life. But I was living in Boston and I was getting my ass kicked physically, mentally, emotionally every day. And so I was an empath that shut those doors, and I became hardened, and I became a tough guy, and I became a drug dealer, and I became not a good guy for a couple of years before I joined the military and went back to the good life.
Did you say you became a drug dealer?
Yeah. So you joked earlier, you were like, even things that you were selling that may be illegal. And I was like, brother.
If only you knew.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had to experience all those things from my personal journey to be able to become empathetic again and to be able to hold space for people. And I'll tell you, like you ask, when you preface these questions and you're like, as deep as you want to go, I can show you all the cards. Like I'll go all the way deep for my story, because what I've learned, number one, for me, it's brought healing back into my life to be able to speak emotions around these things that I was afflicted with or that I caused myself. And then also when I talk to people, 9 times out of 10, no one's running away. They're leaned in. They're like, either they've been through the exact same thing and or they know someone very close to them that they love who has. And so it's really done this beautiful thing of opening up my world to this freedom of moving through the world and bringing in beautiful people by sharing those stories and coming back to being an empath.
I love it. Listen, we're going to go to a brief break, just about a minute. But when we come back, I would love to get into the wealth building aspect of what you do, and also tandemly the mindset aspect of what you do, because I'm curious always to find out which came first, the chicken or the egg.
You got it.
Get the money first and does wealth mean money to you? And I want everybody out there to think about this word real quick as we go to a commercial break and come back. Do you all feel that wealth and money is synonymous with abundance? We're going to talk about that and more when we come back. You guys don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Hey, today is an amazing So that's important. And I love what you said. You know, this too shall pass, people. It's not permanent. Whatever's going on.
Cosmo Sapiens, hosted by the Galaxis Gal and Lauren Michaels Harris.
This is the Galaxis Gal, bringing you the stories of the human beings making space for all of us. Because just like on Earth, in space, humanity should be our business.
Everybody wants to be an astronaut.
Every Thursday and Sunday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on iRock Space Radio.
Alrighty. Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris, and we're in the mix with Jesse T. He'll be back in just a moment. But first, I wanted to ask you, are you trying to make better choices? I know I always am, and this is one of them. I ditched the Diet Coke, I ditched the power drinks, and I chose V8 instead. Why? A couple reasons. 60 calories, first and foremost. 2 full servings of vegetables in every can, and it's 100% from concentrate of pure vegetables. Nothing I can't pronounce. And you know I have a rule. No words with more than 6 syllables up in here. Okay? So I can understand this. It's easy peasy. Simply pop the top, try it. All you have to do is head down the juice aisle at your local grocer, and you'll find it. In my store is right next to the Kool-Aid boxes. Isn't that curious? V8. Have one today. Here he is, Jesse T. Welcome back.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, we talked about a lot before we went to break, but I wanted to get into mindset and wealth building.
Yep.
Which, for you, came first?
Mindset. And mindset comes for everything first, whether it's embarking on a health and wellness venture, spirituality journey, relationships, self-healing, whatever it is that you're doing in life, business, creating wealth for yourself and others in all the ways. You have to have the right mindset going into it, because without the right mindset, you'll be easily deterred. You'll get off track. You'll do things maybe that are out of character. And even beyond mindset, there's emotional behavioral things that I educate and share with clients that really help them get into the right mindset. Okay, so let's talk about that. Mindset can easily become one of those loosely used terms. Just like, for instance, I say it, all you gotta do is go on LinkedIn and find out. Coaches, everybody can I'm a toenail painting coach. I'm an eyebrow plucking coach. There's just all kinds of coaches. And in most cases, either self-proclaimed or I went through some course. Yes. You see what I'm saying? And let's talk about that. Mindset, changing, growing, evolving through mindset. Is that something? How do you? What was the first door you went through? Honesty. Getting honest with myself. Getting honest with where I was, who I was, where I wanted to be, who needed to be in my life, who didn't need to be in my life, who I could, through the years, elegantly ask, universe, God, source to, easily, frictionlessly remove the wrong people from my life. But those types of things. So honesty is the biggest thing, and having that humility to know where you're screwing up and name it and own it. It's, we got to get past this, and we're really turning a beautiful corner in society. I know it sounds weird to say that with where we are in the world, but it's a whole nother part of the work I do. But the darkness that we're facing as a human race is in direct proportion to the light that's being emitted by people that are going to change the world. And there's this, I'll just kind of jump off track for 1 second. There's this Hopi, Hopi prophecy, which is a Native American belief system where they believe in what's called the Warriors of the Rainbow. And the Warriors of the Rainbow are going to come to Earth in a time when the Earth is the most ravaged, the least green it's ever been, in the most despair it's ever been. People from every single background, every single whatever you want to call it, that are going to unite and bring the world back to where it needs to be. And I, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. I know that's where we're at right now, because there's so many beautiful human beings that their voices are getting louder and their light is getting brighter, and they're just bringing this type of work to the world. It just kind of segue there. But in terms of that mindset piece, the honesty, the humility, then the work, then you have to seek out people that you trust, that you like, that can advise you on how to screw up less. Like for me, when I was getting into wealth planning. So I've been in financial planning for about 10 years.
Okay.
It started off as a banker, and I was working retail banks. I started off as a salesperson, relationship banker, selling bank accounts, credit cards, loans, these types of things. And it quickly escalated into like a management role. And I was now managing that business and up to like a $25 million bank, which, in Georgia, the biggest bank here is SunTrust. So I was working for SunTrust, and that was a really cool experience. And then I would, move up from there into another role. But long story short, it started there, moved into being a State Farm agent, and then hated that. I really didn't like the banking piece either, because really what I wanted to do was be an independent entrepreneur again. So I left State Farm, started Tedisco Financial in February 2017, and I gave myself a 2-year window saying I'm going to scale this business within 2 years so that I could do what I'm doing now, which happened. And it's 46&2 Wealth Partners. And 46&2 Wealth Partners is a fee-only registered investment advisory firm, which means when you're a fee-only, you're a fiduciary. And for me, this is the only way to conduct business as a human, is you have to do the right thing at the right times. Or when you screw up, tell people that you screwed up. And so when you're a fiduciary, you remove any conflict of interest as a financial planner. So for some context, there's 400,000 financial planners or so, like insurance salespeople, annuity salespeople, all the way up to fiduciary, CPAs, whatever. And out of those 400,000 people, only 5% of true fiduciaries. So the lopsided other end of the spectrum are people that take a commission. And again, being a sales guy at heart, there's nothing wrong with commission, but when you take a commission in the financial planning world, it opens up an inherent conflict of interest, because now as the salesperson, and you're selling a product or a service that you're being pushed by the people that are telling you to do this, like whether they're managers or whatever. Now as the recipient of that product or service, you kind of in the back of your mind wonder if it's the best thing for you or the best thing for them in terms of how much money they're going to make. And so I did that business as clean as I could for 2 years. And I'm like, I don't like the way this feels. I don't even like that there's a question. Not that there ever was a conversation, but there was a question that could be in the back of someone's mind, as if I'm being authentic or true or honest.
So let me ask you, I'm just curious. Sorry to jump in there.
No, it's okay.
But would you say that the journey, as far as evolving through those different doors into where you are today for spiritualism, what you believe to be true, would you say that, the reason we find ourselves in those situations, or the possibility thereof, is, when we go in, we don't realize how much we've changed, or how much we desire to evolve into that better version of ourselves. So the old you or the old me might say, yeah, this is a good angle. I'm gonna get paid, right? And then you get in there, and all of a sudden, things that used to not even keep you awake, you didn't blink an eye at, start picking at you. Picking at you. And I believe that that's an important time in there, where you get in there and things happen that you didn't expect, because now you're aware of the transition. I believe that evolving is just a matter of being willing and choosing to lay something old that does not serve us down in order to pick up something new that will allow us to serve the universe. And oftentimes we don't understand that's what's happening until the choice is right in front of us. Because it has to be free will. It just has to be. It has to be for the right reasons, not some angle. So, Jesse, today, because let's just keep it real. In the finance world, that's just like politics. You're usually, to be successful, you got to be all in.
Yes.
Don't give a shit about, you see what I'm saying? Federal prison is full of them, Ponzi schemes and this, that, and the other. So tell me, is that a difficult place for people to exist that want to be as forthright and they want everything to be integrity based? Is it difficult to find people in the financial world? Money makes the world go round. Money is the root of all evil. All the things. Is it difficult? And how do you see money today?
Yes.
Where does it sit in Jesse's world?
Yeah, I'll talk about money being a tool, but I'll also talk about first you hit the context right on the head with my growth, spiritual journey path. That's been in direct relation to how I've changed my business. And so when I first started out, it was one way, 10, 11 years ago to where I am today. And I've completely married my life and what I believe in into my business. And so 9 times out of 10, you're going to see me talking to clients just like this, backwards hat, t-shirt, it's who I am. You know, I might get as dressed up as like a button down shirt and some nice looking pants, but no more suits. Got rid of those in the banking days. I had 15 different suits when I was a banker. I was out of control. Cufflinks, tie clips, funky socks, bow ties. I looked like a clown, although, you know, whatever. And it just wasn't for me. I didn't feel genuine. And I started playing that game. And it was a game, and it was political. It was like, who do you know, and how well can you do here? And I played it well, but I felt disingenuous.
It really is.
I felt out of place again, and it was because I knew something deeper. That voice, that intuition was saying it's not quite right for you, man.
But the money was good.
Money was good, but you know
so
what?
How do you put that down and say, okay, I can take being poor for a minute.
Right. Well, it comes with a lot of humility. It comes with a lot of ego work. It comes with a lot of practicality. That's if you want to talk about business sense. You know, if you spend more than you make, no matter how much you make, you're always going to be broke. So if you make $1 million a year, spend $1 million and one, you have no money. And so it's all about, this goes back into the wealth planning side. It's all about foundational principles that would basically I followed and I embodied, and now I give that information to other people. And I would just say this, like even to this day, even so, as a fiduciary, I don't take any commissions. I don't sell any products or services. I don't work for anyone but me. I clear all my business through TD Ameritrade, which is becoming Schwab. It's, you know, a known custodian. But I work for myself completely. This is as free as you can get in this world. I am regulated. I am, you know, the SEC and FINRA, these regulatory bodies that oversee financial planners. They look into my business if they need to make sure I'm not a cowboy and doing crazy crap. But I'm as free as I can be. And I run my own business and I do my own thing and I make my own decisions. And, you know, so it's, that part of it's been great. But even now, even with all that, I still feel a little bit out of place. Like I still feel a little bit like there's something different for me, which there's been things that have been brewing for me. So I would say that authenticity is everything, man. And it's cliche. It's very like, okay, yeah, be authentic. But like for me, I don't have to hide. I don't have to wear masks. Like I take a lot of my friends become clients, and I've had to like massage that to make sure our friendships aren't, you know, hurt or jeopardized. But I like doing life and business with people that I love and that I find interesting. And I'm just a relationship guy. And so it's that type of world that I live in. It's relationships first. It's putting people in their own interests first before me. And then it's let's knock out some life together. Let's make some money together. Let's have some fun together. Let's journey the world together. And so it's become this more of a lifestyle situation versus just here's my business 9 to 5. Here's the suit and tie. And then this is what I do with, you know, my girlfriend or my kids or whatever I'm doing over here. No, it's all the same.
You know, I could see where if you were if I can just feel it, that you most likely have a better shot with people that you know because they know the true you, whereas a stranger coming in cold, all those things that you've become, that's the thing. You would think the other people that don't give a crap would be the red flag, raise an eyebrow, you know, but it isn't. It's when a person comes, he sounds too good to be true. What's that bullshit? You know what I'm saying? It's so interesting how that happens. That says a lot about what you believe in, that you can be successful in the wealth and the finance industry.
Lauren, let me say something to that point real quick because I think it's very important. So I've gone, and this could be great for other financial planning, financial services people that listen to this or catch wind of this, is I changed my business model from before where I was working through a broker dealer where you have to sell your business through and they take a piece of your commission, which is awful. And then they also kind of give you measurements of how much of this you should be selling and all. And like, it was just not for me. But I'll tell you, in changing that dynamic and not working for a broker dealer anymore, but working for myself through like a TD Ameritrade or to be Schwab,
sure.
It's taken away that need to constantly find new clients. And it's taken away that need to like throw spaghetti against the wall and hope something sticks. And so like before, I used to wake up on January 1 when I was working through financial planning services like State Farm or broker dealers independently, and I would have to find all the new clients perpetually, always digging, finding new clients, prospecting, selling, all this stuff. Now I only need 100 clients in that business, and I'm on my way to being there. And it's like, these are the people that I hand select to come in and do life with. And so I look at my business like it's dating. Do I like this person? Do I want to be around this person? Yeah. Are they going to trust that I can get the job done? Are they going to believe in who I am as a person? Like it's a serious thing. But the thing is, I don't have to find every single person. Now I can really be selective of who comes into the business.
And the great thing about the truth is, you know, it only needs to be spoken once. because it's not going to change.
Yep.
So if a person is seeking the truth and they hear it, they're going to hear that ring of it, and that's going to be that. I always feel like I am never going to try to sit up here and convince or talk somebody into the truth, because if I have to talk you into it,
That's right.
you're seeking something other than the truth, or it would resonate with you.
You got it.
So let's talk about this one. Let's go in. We're going to switch gears here really quickly. We're going to talk about this sacred plant medicine thing. Before we bring in Jesse's input on this, take a look at this, you guys. Just a little something, just almost 2 minutes. Take a look.
This is Sanenga.
Sanenga is a sacred medicine of the Amazon. It's used many times in conjunction with other medicines like ayahuasca and kambo and washuma, which is the true name of San Pedro. Together, these medicines can help to dispel panema, which is another word for bad luck or spiritual malaise or any type of illness or sickness. Many of these medicines have been used to dispel sickness and bad luck in tribes. As well, Sanenga and kambo are used by hunters before they go on a hunt to sharpen their senses. If you use both kambo and Sanenga together, your senses will be virtually superhuman. It's very powerful medicine. So it sounds great, right?
Yeah.
But here's the only tough part. It burns like battery acid when you put this in your eyes.
In your eyes?
It's very painful.
Yeah.
Usually, the sicker you are, the more painful it will be. The good thing is the more that you use Sanenga in your eyes, it hurts less every time, which is also a signal that your body is healing and getting better.
Wow.
Sanenga will also cleanse your pineal gland and open your third eye. I just got this batch in. My last batch went bad because I didn't realize you have to keep it refrigerated. So I'm very blessed to have this medicine back.
Okay, Sanenga. The reason I brought that in was because I know a lot of people, I did, when you hear sacred plant medicine, I automatically thought, because some of my friends were like, yeah, especially those Utahns. They're, we're going on a spiritual journey this weekend, and we're dropping this, and we're going to take some of that. And starting with mushrooms. I didn't want people to think it's just another, a 60s drug party.
Right.
Talk about this because it's in your bio. You got it out there. You're very transparent about sacred plant medicine. I know that Lane and Steven go off to these different places, and you've gone with them. Peru, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
So talk about tell us what you know about why this is important to you and why you think people need to lean in and learn more about what's available.
That video I just watched is a little concerning because for me personally, I've always, not anymore, but people have these fears or, what if scenarios. And for me, it was always with my eyes. It was like if I lost vision, but that was deeper in the ability to see and see truth. But anyway, so I don't want to put anything that burns my eyes.
I know. I saw you shaking your head though, like you were like, "Yep, I know about that."
Or I've heard shaking my head at is he was talking about kambo. Now, kambo is a whole different situation, and you can't see it, but I have these burn marks on my arm.
See, it's a lot of burning going on up in here.
So, but the thing about the kambo is different is this, and kambo is not even a psychedelic. Kambo, so let me tell you about kambo. So kambo, it's timely because I'm actually going to go sit with kambo tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week.
What does that mean? Sit with is kambo a person?
It's a type of tree frog, and they take the secretion, the peptides that come off of the secretion from the back of the frog, and they kind of gently scrape it off. They're keeping the frog alive. They work in unison with nature and frogs. And so on the back of this frog is this peptide that creates a lymphatic system flush. So for medicine, for like real world application, it's flushing out dis-ease. It's flushing out. So let me tell you this, and you want to talk to this guy, I'll get you plugged in. His name is Ezria. He's down in Tulum. And this is another place Lane and Steve and I went to a few months ago. And we work with DMT, which is the spirit molecule. It's guys like Joe Rogan or Tony Robbins and Mike Tyson have all been profoundly changed by DMT. And what DMT is
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson Watch Mike Tyson these days. He's becoming a Buddha. It's insane. It's insane. He's had some of the most tremendous pain, some of the most tremendous trauma. He is so like aware and awakened and conscious now. He went from the most barbaric. I love Mike Tyson, my favorite boxer of all time. Mike Tyson, he was a gorilla. Like he would tear your head off. And now he's like this spiritual being. It's the coolest thing in the world. So go check out Mike Tyson, what he's saying now about ayahuasca and DMT. Anyway, so Ria is a guy that's down in Tulum who's another soul brother, like someone who's changed my life and someone who's on the path of spiritual and healing and growing and helping others do the same. He's worked with Kambo to where he had testicular cancer. He went to somewhere. He went to Africa to do iboga. He also went to, which is another plant medicine, which is very hard on the body, but it flushes out disease essentially. He went to another place to do Kambo, and within a month, he basically cured his testicular cancer. So there's all these case studies and all these one-off stories. It's actually getting into the mainstream now. So like doctors are taking a look at this and they're like they're seeing the efficacy of people that are able to heal themselves through these plant medicine journeys. I'm not talking about the shit you pour in your eyes and burn your eyes. The stuff that they put on you for Kambo, this is the stuff that basically what it does. It's okay. So plant medicines are really anything that comes from nature. It's like it could be a plant, it could be a frog kind of deal. And these are so powerful. They've been used for thousands of years. They've been used by our ancestors. I believe that they've given us some of our most beautiful awakenings as a human species and some of our advancements in technologies and love and artistry and all these different things. It's really powerful. But anyway, so Kambo, what it does, and I'm working with this week, is it really just makes you throw up. And it's not going to give you a trip. It's not going to make you see God. It's not going to make you have these beautiful revelations. It's a hard journey designed to purge any sickness that you have emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I feel I'm being called to it for the last few months to do it. Like there's things I have going on that I want to just work on. And I'm becoming pretty adept with using plant medicine. So I know when I need to do certain things.
So do you use it as a bridge, so to speak, to an ascension, to an awakening?
No question. And again, it's not the Kambo specifically. He mentioned the word Kambo a few times. The Kambo specifically is for like a flush. It's just going to clean me out. And it is a bridge to more beingness, more wholeness, more healing, more insights. And that's just Kambo. So the other things that I really work with, like Kambo is like maybe a once a year, once every couple of year thing. It's not like plant medicines, like psychedelics, I work with quarterly, every 2 to 3 months. Things like,
so for people they're thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this. You know me, I love me a good high. It's not that.
No, it is not a good high. Sometimes it fucks you up. So
you got to hook me up with somebody I can bring on the show so we can start at point A and walk down that yellow brick road.
Absolutely, and I could come back on and be that person, or bring somebody with me, or talk.
I would love that.
But basically, they're the kind of the overarching plant medicines that people are using today, and they're becoming. I'll talk about how big they're becoming, and they always have been. They're just so anyway. So psilocybin mushrooms, a fungus found in nature. You have ayahuasca, which is made from a root and a vine, usually indigenous to South America. You have DMT, 5-MeO DMT, which actually comes from another frog, a toad.
DMT, ain't that a rapper?
DMX.
I'm kidding. That's DMX.
We lost DMX last year. Shout out to Earl Simmons.
Sorry, y'all.
love Earl Simmons. Love DMX. So DMT, ayahuasca, psilocybin mushrooms. He mentioned San Pedro, which is also known as Wachuma. It comes from a cactus. So what I'm trying to say here is all these things are found unadulterated, unabashed, unedited in nature. And I believe that nature, also God, like separate or connected with nature, essentially, creator of nature, has given us these tools so that we can allow, like you say, to ascend, to heal, to have a better life here in this existence. And I believe, I'll take it a step further, that these plant medicines are divine science. I truly believe they are. I truly believe that they're these tools that are God-given tools to help us become better. Lovers, business people, parents. It's completely changed my life. It's changed me from, I'll tell you, like, so just for some instance on what it's done for me. 2 years ago, just about, I sat with psilocybin mushrooms. And I did a journey, and I did it in a ceremonial setting. So there's a lot that goes into this. So ceremony means you set an intention. Ceremony means you have the right set and setting, mindset going into it. You give the medicine respect. Sometimes you do a dieta with ayahuasca. You diet on certain things for 2 weeks leading up to it. So you're showing respect for this event. And what happens is these plant medicines, sacred plant medicines, are also known as teacher plants.
Yes.
They will teach you profound, eternal truth about so many different aspects of life. In the first plant medicine journey I went on, I asked for 3 things. I had 3 intentions. It was to work on the ego. It was to be and receive more love in the world. And it was to see how I operate as a father through my kids' eyes.
Wow.
Because as Stephen Kuhn will tell you, the guy that you mentioned before that you saw a picture with Lane and I in Peru this year in March, he was able to go to Peru, sit with ayahuasca. He left his third eye through ayahuasca as kind of like spirit, went into his wife, his son, and his daughter's body, and he was able to see and perceive himself through their awareness. And then he went back a completely changed dad because he saw he was being overbearing and like a tyrant and too hard on them. He became a better parent because of it. So it's not like we're going out trying to do cocaine, have a crazy night, and like feel shitty in the morning. We're able to change the world by changing ourselves by doing this. And so for me, psilocybin taught me how to be a better dad. So
that's a great thing to want, to be better.
A better dad, a more aware, a more present dad, a more loving father. And what it really taught me was also how to heal myself, because for 2 weeks after that journey, I was in a depression. I realized how bad I was fucking up. I realized how I wasn't showing up for myself and showing up for my kids. And so what I started doing, what the medicine taught me was, as men, right, no matter what background you have, most men are not taught how to be emotional. They're not taught how to be empathetic. They're not taught how to be the feminine, the divine feminine, which we all have.
Which is right. All these different.
And we're a blend of both. We have divine masculine, divine feminine. We operate in different places at different times. And so for me, I'm like, I'm going to show my kids what I was never taught. I'm going to tell them when I'm emotional, and I'm going to show them the why behind it. And it's okay to feel this way because they're going to feel this way. So for 2 weeks, and I'll sum it up here with the plant medicine journey, how it started, because it's gone way beyond that. It's a conversation for another time. So anytime I would have an emotion during those 2 weeks, I would cry. We're watching Disney Plus. We're watching Moana. Moana is a great Disney movie. Go check it out. It made me cry watching it. It's insane. I would pick up Grayson in one arm. I'd pick up William in one arm. I'd be like, Daddy's sad right now. Daddy's crying because X, Y, Z. And it's okay to be sad. And it's okay to talk about this stuff. And I've been doing that ever since. And so now my sons, when you ask them, what do you know about Daddy? They say, there's like a thing. They're like, what are the 3 things you know about Daddy? He loves you. You can always talk to him. And he's your best friend. And so because they think they can always talk to me, even if they can't really articulate the emotion because they're just bodies of energy,
know the door is there.
They know the door is open.
When we're going to have to get you back for that, because I know a lot of you out there are asking, wow, why did he bring this in so late? We will get to that. I promise you. I just want to make sure everybody was open to the possibilities. So we'll get you back on that. I definitely want to get that on the docket. In the meantime, I just want to say I'm so sorry we're out of time, but thank you so much for everything that you went in depth, that you went deep on, and then those ones that you just kind of cracked the door and said, here, take a look at this.
Yeah.
Again, an illuminated conversation has taken place. Why? Because we've all chosen to be a part of the solution and not just bitch about the problems. So I want to thank you, Jesse T. On your screen right now, you'll see 2 things happening. You'll see the ticker at the bottom if you want to get to Facebook and follow and watch, and I highly encourage you to do so, the Jesse T Show. That's how I'll drop both of these at the conclusion of today's show into the chat. So also LinkedIn, if that's your jam. And Jesse has every road, everything you could ever think of, all the social media platforms. Just reach out to him and or Google him, and you'll find everything you need. Jesse, I want to thank you so much for coming in. You guys don't forget, if you want to learn some more about wealth building and all of that, also Jesse T's forte, get over and continue this story, this writing of this story with him. I want to thank all of you today for being here and making me a better version of myself by just showing up and pouring in. Tomorrow, my guest is Kessa Gooden. She'll be talking about her international fundraising campaign, which is celebrating her birthday, which is today, but the campaign to raise funds for some really worthy causes. We're going to talk about that and more tomorrow. So get out there. You know what I'm going to say. Be the best you can be. How easy. Stop writing your story every day using all 26 letters of the alphabet. The moment your eyes open, the moment you choose to get up, you have now the opportunity to take great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, bold to bolder. Find 1 E and 1 R and change yourself and change the world. simultaneously. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris. I'll see you all tomorrow morning, God willing, out front on the front porch at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to do it all again in our next episode of Bathroom Moments. Be blessed and be the blessing. Bye. Thank you so much, Jesse. Love you, man.
Love you, brother.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How explicit do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you